Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you isn't advice, it's a warning. If you walk through life soft, readable, predictable, people will eat you alive. That's what happens to ordinary people. But Ayanokoji, he doesn't live in that world. He walks through the same hallways, breathes the same air, yet no one truly knows where he stands. That's what a dangerous aura is, not aggression, not loudness. A dangerous aura is control of yourself, control of what you reveal. And if you build this aura correctly, you won't need to demand respect. People will give it to you in silence. So, here are 5 ways to build a dangerous aura like Ayanokoji. 5 psychological shifts that will change how people perceive you, how they treat you, and how they move around you. But before we dive in, here's one undeniable reason you must watch this until the very end. Learn this skill, and you'll no longer compete for recognition. People will seek your approval instead, and that's a change most people never experience in their lifetime. So, let's start with the first truth. Become emotionally untouchable. Stop letting your emotions leak out of you. Ayanokoji is unreadable because he never shows the world his emotions. And that's the first shift. Most people broadcast how they feel without realizing it. Their eyes widen, their voice cracks, their breathing changes. Every reaction is a confession. And the world is full of predators who don't hunt bodies, they hunt for tells. Ayanokoji doesn't show anyone his hand. He doesn't flinch when challenged, doesn't brighten when praised, doesn't show disappointment, anger, or fear. Not because he feels nothing, but because he chooses what the world gets to see. You don't need to be cold. You need to be controlled. Practice holding your reactions, a neutral expression, a slow inhale before responding to provocation. These tiny acts create the illusion of calm dominance. People will try to provoke you. They always test the quiet ones. But when you refuse to react, when their attempts bounce off your silence, you flip the power dynamic instantly. Because here's the truth, the one who stays calm controls the ones who cannot. And once you master that, you step into the next level. Speak less, observe more. Ayanokoji's power doesn't come from being loud. It comes from silence that feels heavy, the kind that forces people to fill the space with their own fears. Everyone else talks too much. They explain themselves, justify their actions, and complain. They speak words that have no benefit but to make them readable. But Ayanokoji uses silence like a weapon. He watches. He listens. He gathers data the way predators study the forest, quietly, patiently, without revealing anything to their prey. This is how you build that same aura. Say 50% less than you normally would. Don't rush to respond. Don't explain your motives. Don't narrate your thoughts. Let people wonder. Let them guess. Let them question your intentions. When you only speak with purpose, when your words are intentional instead of impulsive, your voice becomes more valuable. People lean in. They replay your sentences. They wonder what you're thinking. They fear misinterpreting your silence. And once silence becomes your weapon, you'll be ready for the next trick. Master the art of psychological distance. Ayanokoji interacts with people without ever being owned by them. Not emotionally, not mentally. He keeps a space between himself and the world. A gap just wide enough that no one can fully pull him into their expectations or manipulations. This isn't isolation. It's strategic detachment. You don't need to be antisocial. You don't need to push people away. You just need to avoid the one mistake that ruins most auras. Do not attach your identity to anyone's approval. People lose their power when they become addicted to validation, needing to be liked, accepted, praised. Ayanokoji never falls into that trap. He treats everyone neutrally as if he's studying them from above the room. No emotional attachment, no desperate attempts to belong, no pathetic energy to be noticed. And here's the psychological trick. When you don't seek approval, people subconsciously seek yours. Your distance draws them to you. Your neutrality makes you interesting. People chase what feels just out of reach. That distance creates gravity. They start thinking about you more, questioning your motives, trying to interpret your behavior. And the more they think about you, the more psychological presence you gain without lifting a single finger. Your absence becomes louder than their presence, and your aura becomes more dangerous. But distance alone isn't enough, because if people can read your intentions, they still have leverage. Which brings us to the next trick. Let them think you are predictable in behavior, and be unpredictable in capability. This is the heart of Ayanokoji's aura. His behavior is always calm and collected, but his capability, that's where the unpredictability lies. He acts like a background character, until the moment he bends the room to his will, until the moment he dismantles someone only with his words without lifting a finger, until the moment he turns impossibility into inevitability. Your aura becomes dangerous, not when people know what you're capable of, but when they don't. Hide your skills. Hide your strengths. Hide your work until it's complete. Hide your plans until they unfold. Let the world underestimate you, because the moment you reveal even a fraction of your ability, the shock doubles its impact. The ones who appear harmless and hide their claws for the right moment are the ones who eventually win everything and create the strongest psychological imprint. Be a wolf in sheep's clothing, because unpredictability triggers instinctive caution in others. It makes them fear you. It makes them tread lightly. It makes them wonder, what else is he hiding? And the moment uncertainty enters their mind, you've already won. People fear the gap between what they know and what they can't know about you. The less predictable you are, the more carefully the world steps around you. And that leads to the final trick. Build a mind that cannot be manipulated. The most dangerous part of Ayanokoji isn't his strength. It's not his combat skills, or his intellect, or his strategy. It's his independence of thought. No one can sway him. No one can guilt him. No one can emotionally corner him. His values come from within, not from external pressure. Most people fold the moment you press on their guilt, their fear of being disliked, their desperation to belong. But Ayanokoji, his mind is a locked room. You can knock, you can shout, you can pound on the door. He won't open it unless he chooses to. And if you want that same aura, you need to build mental foundations that cannot be manipulated. This means, stop reacting to emotional hooks. Stop explaining yourself when you don't need to. Stop letting people control your mood. Stop allowing guilt to dictate your decisions. Stop caring about other people's opinions. When your mind becomes your own territory, no one can invade it. That's when your aura changes. That's when people feel something around you that they can't define or categorize. A sense that you're operating on a different level than they are. And people don't try to control what they don't understand. They rely on labels to feel safe. But when they can't label you, they can't predict you. They'll fear you. They'll respect you. They'll move carefully around you. That's what makes an aura dangerous. Not violence, not chaos, not aggression. And once you begin stacking these traits, once you adopt silence, distance, unpredictability, and emotional discipline, something inside you shifts quietly and irreversibly. You no longer walk into rooms hoping to fit in. You walk in, knowing you don't need to. You no longer chase respect. You radiate an aura that makes respect chase you. And the world feels that on an instinctive level, on a level they can't rationalize. A dangerous aura is built through the version of you they cannot read, cannot predict, cannot control, and cannot help but respond to. And once you begin to apply that, you'll start to sense a shift you can't fully describe yet. A shift that begins with the way people look at you and ends with the way they treat you. And from that moment on, everything about the way you move through the world slowly begins to change.